We should be live. How's everyone doing this evening? We have quite a lot of people already watching. Back to the beginning. 3D RCNC, Mr. Maker, Suresh, Niels, 3D Gusner, Joris, Jan, Vincent, LSD Bonos, 3D printing stuff. Heino, good evening, Canadian Maker. Logical Waste, hello, Peter, Andrew S. Digital Misfit. I think I've mentioned everyone so far. Going forward, I might miss a few. Mike is here. Old Soul TRC. How's everyone doing this evening? A quick announcement. Very quick announcement. I'm back to full-time content creator. I've had a Patreon-only live stream where I explained what happened, but I'm back. The most important thing to say is I'm back. I'm back to doing content. I'll be doing some side jobs, but remotely, so I'll be working from home, related to 3D printing. So you'll be seeing much more of me. Yay! Also, tonight there might be some distractions because I got a dog, and she's sleeping right next to me right now, so I can barely move. At some point, my wife is going to come because they went out. My wife and my daughter. As soon as they come in, they're going to open the door. Dog's going to run out, and then we'll be fine. Okay. Let's do this. Hold on. So you guys can get a look. Shoop. There it is. There. Bella. Bella. Say hi. Wait. Say hi. Nope. No hi. She's asleep. She sleeps most of the time. Let's put this back there. So yeah, Bella, just to give you a bit of an update, Bella was a rescue dog. The owner said it was a male puppy, that his name was Buddy, and that they're leaving the island. I went to adopt him, which I found out it was a female. The owner is not leaving the island, and she might actually be pregnant, which constitutes a problem for me, but I'll figure it out somehow. I'm not going to give up on her. To follow the script already. Yeah, so Bella is my chief cuddles officer. Okay, back to this. Gearbest have released the new AlphaWise U30 Pro. I've done a live stream of the U30. I didn't do the review of it, mainly because, as I mentioned, I used to work full time. I didn't have the time. As a matter of fact, I barely had time to sit inside this office. And now it's kind of outdated. So they sent me the U30 Pro, which is upgraded. It has this awesome big touchscreen. It has TMC 2208 drivers. It actually has a branded power supply. It's not Meanwell, but it's branded, which is always a good thing. It has this nice aluminum thick plate for the bed, removable build plate, not flexible, it's glass, nice bigger wheels to adjust, filament runout sensor, which the U30 also had, and also the power zoom function, which the U30 also had. Hey Joe, can you give a surprise shout out to my little daughters, Jenna and Ava? Hello! They are helping cleaning the barbecue while watching your stream. Clean it very well. A clean barbecue is a good barbecue. The cost of this currently, so this arrived on Friday. It is on special offer till tonight, midnight. I think it's about $220, which is very reasonable because I believe that makes it cheaper than the Ender 3 Pro. And personally speaking, silent drivers, TMC 2208, and all of the nice touchscreen, I believe it could do better. Okay, so yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back to this camera because I'm going to get a lot of people complaining about interlacing. Unfortunately, that camera over there is dying, so I'll eventually have to replace that, but for now I can't. So anyway, this is what we'll be doing. Hold on. Focus. Focus. There. So, instructions in English, in Spanish. Wait, hold on. No, in French, in German. I think it's, no. It's not, this is Italian. And this is Spanish. So there. The cam can't keep up with my fast moves. Yeah. So yeah, I'll be doing this. If it gets too distracting, let me know, and I'll just remove the little box up there on the corner. Yes, it is. It is. Tommy bot Tom. Which camera is failing? It is the Canon. It's the EOS 760D. I prefer the Lumix. I always record with the Lumix because it's much better. It's much more recent. But at the moment, this is all I have, so I'll see how I can make it work. Okay, I'm going to get to it because eventually when people start watching this, they're going to troll me and tell me, oh, you're taking too long to start. So let's begin. We'll start with these. So yeah, apart from the interlacing, what's going to happen eventually is I'm going to get lag as well. And it only happens on that camera for some reason. These are M5 by 20. Looking for 3D printing. Wasn't this a 3018 CNC brand name? This, so the Alfawise is, hello, move your head. The Alfawise brand is GearBest's in-house brand. So yeah. Okay, I need to know how I'm going to holes. This one doesn't. Okay, 14 is on this side, 15 is on this side. Let me make some space so I can work in the center of the table. And now you got up. I'm going to have to pick that up. Relax. Okay, so we'll get to that in a little bit. So for some reason, my dog, she has a whole office where she can just lay down, do whatever she wants. I leave the balcony door open so she has outside. And she seems to like to sleep in between the wheels of my chair, making it impossible for me to move. Hey, Chris, one stepper down. I love how, so there's like a 30-second delay. And it happens to me, and then I can see the reactions after 30 seconds. So that's one. Both the same. Let's hope the stepper motor still works. I think that was the extruder and the x-axis that fell. Hey, Vince. You guys cannot see what I'm doing. Could you perhaps check connectors, wire connection, board, etc.? I don't see many YouTubers doing this, to be honest. So yes, A couple of things I need to mention. When I did the live stream of the first U30, I complained that whenever you pick up the machine, if you pick it up from the back, the first thing you'll do is you'll actually touch the connectors. But that's been obviously fixed now. They had fixed it a while back and they told me. Now it's like completely covered. The board is down there. We can... Oh no, okay, so this is actually one piece, is it? We can open this up. And give you guys a view of all the connections and how it's set up. If I can. Wow, these are really tightened up. Okay, let's start from there. It's just the stepper motor that fell. It's not the printer that fell. I doubt that will create blue smoke. Hopefully not. How thick are the red plates? I'd say they're about 3 to 4 millimeters thick, all the way through. Every single part that I see, they're about 3 to 4 millimeters thick. That includes the brackets for the stepper motors. So it feels very well, like it feels solid. The one thing I want to do is, because I've seen a few photos of the touchscreen UI interface, and it looks very similar to Raise 3D's interface, which could be a problem because, as far as I'm aware, Raise 3D's user interface is their own. I don't know if it's patented. Probably not, but it's most likely trademarked. So if it is completely copied, that could constitute a problem. Not for me, but for them. This is the last screw. Hey, 3D Printing Viking. It's where it fell. Exactly. Literally on the other side of the table. Okay. Ta-da! So that is the board. There you go. Give you guys a better view. So this is the board. It says LGT Kit version 1. Cabling seems to be done right. Everything is crimped and covered. Everything seems fine. I don't know what board this is, to be honest. But I can see there are 3 TMC 2208 drivers. I'm guessing those are X, Y, and Z. And this is what looks like the 4468 driver. That could be for the extruder, which is understandable. Hey, Dimitri. Okay. So that looks all good. I'm going to get these out again. So yeah, bed wiring, for those wanting to know, the bed wiring is... Bella, mommy's here. Huh? Bella, call her. Hi, Bella. Bella. Who's here? Yep, there you go. Distraction. Bye-bye, Bella. So, so yeah, where was I? The bed wiring is 14 gauge, which is extremely good. Let me just check. Goes in there, goes from here. So yeah, it's 14 gauge, but at some point, I don't know if you guys can see this, it is split into several other wires. So you have 3 wires for the negative and 3 wires for the positive. So somewhere in between, it kind of like splits towards additional wires. But yeah, comes out from the bed, comes out from the board at 14 gauge. Are the screws on a motherboard called a potentiometer? It depends. Potentiometers are variable resistors, if I recall my very little knowledge. Of electronics. Very little knowledge of electronics. What kind of power supply? It's a 24 volt, 15 amp power supply. It is branded. I'll tell you in a second exactly what the name of the brand is. Hey, 3D Jimmy. I don't like the black cable sleeves. I fully agree. I don't like them either. The word I can think of is they're cheap. Ultimately, they do the job. However, having sort of like nice braided sleeves would be nice. But I can understand that. Not Chinese company. I doubt they would go to that extent. 3D Gusner, did you try the homemade sambal and the honey waffles? Yes. Homemade sambal, it's finished. It was delicious. It was absolutely amazing. Very nice smoky flavor. So for those of you who don't know, 3D Gusner met me at Prague Maker Fair, got me some waffles, some stroopwafels, some honey stroopwafels, and some homemade sambal, which is like a chili paste, and was absolutely divine. And I gobbled it all up within like a week or 2. Hey, Jatman. Okay, let's see. Hey, Joe, and everyone can stay, it's family time, but sure we'll catch up later. Thank you very much, Matt. Family first, dude. Okay, so we were saying the brand is called Chengliang. Chengliang, something like that. But at least it's branded. It's always a plus. Okay, so those are ready. Let me go outwards again. That's done. Step 2. I need the part that I dropped. So let me go pick that up. I'll close the balcony door since Bella's not here. I might have half the time with this, but it looks okay. So this is what fell. There's the x-axis. X-axis motor, extruder motor, filament sensor. Yep, all standard. Okay. So this is 16. That goes there. Trying to figure out. Okay, so the instructions, unfortunately, aren't that clear. So chances are, I might have to. I might end up having to take something off, but let's try it that way. RCCNC, thank you very much, dude. Thank you so much. Hold on, let me just keep up the awesome work. Thank you very much, dude. Thank you for the 20 euros. Good budget Core XY. I am waiting for the Sapphire S to come over. So hopefully that. Okay, so I'm guessing this would. Okay, that would make sense if it's like this. Let's see how that works out. 26. The 4x16s. I'm not sure, honestly. I've spoken to Justin Jetman about the interface. So it's even if it wasn't okay. I know this is China, so there's so much you can expect out of them. But it would kind of bother me a little bit if a company copied like the interface. I saw it from a few photos. It looks similar. Might not be the same, but it does look similar. It could also be the fact that they went with the black and white sort of theme to go along with the printer. What retraction to use on direct drive? My Raptor 2 on fixing startup and stop. Donny Frisk. Usually for direct drive, I don't tend to go over like 1.2, 1.5 millimeters. If it's a Volcano direct drive, then I will go as high as about 2, 2.5. Okay, so that looks about right. You know what? Actually, let me just move this here. Wait. No, I can't. Okay. Step 3, the other end. No, we need this. So this is going to go in there. This has to go here. And it would be like this. Okay. Step 4 would be the Y plate. 2 of these. Okay. So anyone know the difference between the Pro U30 and non-Pro? So the non-Pro has the standard, what do you call them? 4866 drivers. It's a bit of a noisy machine. It has a smaller touchscreen, doesn't have the removable build plate as far as I recall. Power supply was not branded. Bed frame is not as stiff as this. I recall that very well. But I still have the U30 Pro. So when I do a review of this, which I will do, I can compare the both. Yeah, that looks right. Also, the firmware for this is open source, so it is available. Whereas the U30 had a closed source firmware. Okay, anyway. Cześć, Michał. Jak się masz? Bardzo dobrze. A ty? Did you say jestem spoko? Okay, so I'm going to leave those there for now. I'm not going to over tighten those because I still have to put the belt on. So, step 5, the belt, which is here. Okay, now for this, let me just move that a little bit to the side. This will attach down here to those. Let me just, in the meantime, oh wow, okay, that's perfect. So we'll start off with on this side. Put it in a way you guys can see what I'm doing, which is basically just grabbing the belt, grabbing a couple of cable ties. Well done, USA! Hey, Abe Fandi. Hello from Malta. Shana Shana. Okay, that's one. Put 2 for safe measure. Also, I have drawers. I have drawers now, which have tools in them. I have IKEA drawers. Okay, now. From here, under the wheels. Right. Come on. Okay. That goes there. And it goes around this side. Now, so what I'm going to do now is, because there's this tensioning bracket, just moving it all the way in so I can put the belt in place. Then I can use it to tension the belt. How many printers have you assembled? Can you assemble one without manual? I can assemble, at some point, I could assemble a Mark III without a manual. That's back when I was assembling my 6 Mark IIIs. By the fourth or fifth one, because I assembled them all in a day, by the fourth or fifth one, I was just doing it blindly. I could. I mean, I love me a challenge, so I could definitely find ways. But I'd rather not, because then, oh man, the comments that I would get. Okay, so let me just move some of this belt. Unfortunately, the belt, so it's not a heavy duty belt, so it's just rubber, so that will require changing eventually. It's not reinforced with steel. I'm just gonna set those, go there. Just gonna use this as a tensioner. We don't need no stinking manual. Yeah, we're men. We don't need manuals or directions. Okay. That's done. Next. This has to go in here. There you go. I have to say I'm impressed that the eccentric nuts seem to be perfectly set up already. Okay. I can move this way. I forgot there's no doggy anymore. Next, step 5, step 6. Step 7 is the top part. Let me just move the camera up. The other way. There. At least it's not plastic like the ones Trunksy has used in the past. Those were a joke. I try to avoid mentioning the brand Trunksy on this channel. It's my kryptonite. Trunksy is my kryptonite. For those of you who have been around long enough on my channel, you'll know what I'm talking about. But the moment Trunksy bring out a decent printer, I have no problem reviewing it. But until then, yeah, no. Which board that printer use? Oh, I forgot. I did open the base, so if you rewind a little bit, you should be able to see it. Just after I put the Z-axis frame on. Once you properly share with the first 5 printers, your rest get easier to build without materials. Oh, that phrase, Chris. Okay, step 8. We have the Z-axis motor. Oh, look, I took a photo. A coupler. So this goes. I'll turn this around. I did find in the box, I did find one loose hex bolt. I still haven't figured out where it came from. But that looks like similar to the ones on the base plate, I think. On the fan is attached, cover is attached. So yeah, we'll see. Anyway, so this will have to go somewhere. Just use this as a holder. There, stay. That goes in there. And I need these two. LGT kit something. Yep, that's the one. Because I was scared to say LGT just in case someone gets offended. One. Joe, you didn't route the cables before putting the top extrusion on. But no, see the thing is it cannot go from the top. It has. You're right. It cannot go from the top, but Joe, just put them through on the top. It happens. Thank you. At least it's only like 4-quick bolt. Let me just. Okay, that goes there. Thank you very much for that. And I dropped a bolt somewhere. No, I didn't. Okay. The company includes a spool holder. Who doesn't do that? TiVo. TiVo doesn't include spool holders for some reason. Thinking of getting a direct kit from Bontech for Ender 3. Or I just get one more Prusa. What do you think? Get one more Prusa. Sorry, but there's a reason why I have 10 Prusas in my farm. Let me just throw this in here from the get-go. Okay, so the viewers can help. Exactly. That is why I do it during the live stream. Also to show that mistakes happen. Okay, now I'll do this. Being clan a mistake, exactly. Okay. So for those of you who didn't see me last time, just in case, I mentioned something which is very important. When you put couplers on, so imagine this coupler is there. Make sure these aren't touching. Couplers should be assembled pretty much about that spacing. There always has to be that spacing. They should stop when the solid part stops because you need that flex in there. That's why it's there. So yeah, just pro tip, noob tip. Oops. Okay, so that's 1. That's 2. That was step 8. While we're here, I might as well just leave the wires for last. Step 9 is the spool holder, which usually goes on top here. There. Boss is calling. TV time. Enjoy the stream. Thank you very much, 3D Gustner. Tom. I didn't see Tom here. Okay, next. I'll put the spool holder on top. Okay, and the limit switch. Limit switch should be down here on the side. Somewhere here. So let's see. Looks about right. Double the frenzy. Okay, that was 9. Step 10, the bed. So this is the bed, which has clips for the glass build plate to come off. I would have liked a flexible build plate, but I'm fine with this. I'm okay with this, as long as it's not the fridge magnet build plates that the Ender has. The bed knob's quite large with decent springs. So the one thing about Alfawise, even though it is a GearBest brand and, GearBest, whenever I gave them a suggestion, and any suggestion given to them by the community on Facebook, they tend to take it on board, which I really like. And one of my biggest sore points with the Alfawise U20 and U30, the original one, was the fact that it was closed source. That bugged me. So I'm happy that they went with open source now. For the firmware, that is. Oh, no, wait, other way. It actually tells you, Joe, which way is up. Yep, flexible magnetic sheet. That's the one. They are the tapered head. completely tapered with enough room to spare. Modified as the ouch. With fake build-tech on it. Exactly, Chris. That's the one I'm referring to. I can't stand that. I absolutely cannot stand that. I've had a case where the print, it wasn't the print that actually warped, although yes, it did warp. The print did actually warp, but it warped because the flex plate warped. So this is something I'm not too fond of. Connectors. I'd rather have directly soldered, but it's actually quite a good connection. So I'll have to make my peace with that. Now, this, put these two here. These two in the back. Let's say which one came with it. It's true, they constantly kept on changing the build plates. Okay, step 11 is the screen. This one didn't have a cover. So they do the screen. You can actually have it on the left or on the right. They very don't like they split that. No, Chris, I actually checked. They don't have multiple zones. What they, it's literally all connected together because I actually checked before the live stream. I had to look at it. It's not multiple zones because I was hoping that's why they sort of separated them. And now it's cables. Now it's time to put the wiring on. This one. That's two. So this is the x-axis in stop. Extruder, x-axis motor, and filament sensor. Okay, next, what did I miss? What did I miss? Is that it? That's all the wiring there is? Now, let me just check quickly the limit switch. I'm going to raise the limit switch a bit because I don't want to over tighten the springs. It's relief on the heat bed wires. No, pretty much, unfortunately, none, except for this connector here. And the screen. Okay, so let me just have a quick run through. Bed leveling, my manual bed leveling. Okay. Oh, that's quite Okay, so I know this is going to sound a bit trivial, but I really like the fact that if I want to adjust the back thing and like the back screw, it's so easily accessible. Like they're just here. This one can be adjusted here. This one here. Okay, let's start it. Let's see if you guys can see the screen. It's always the fans that make the most noise. Okay. That's there. I can see a little resemblance to the Alfawise, to the Race 3D, but no, it's relatively different. So let's see. Ooh, it's quiet. Because obviously TMC drivers. Nice. Feel like a home. Or it's home, yeah. We the fans make the most noise. Thank God for that. Okay. Utilities. Yeah, leveling. Oh, okay. That's the leveling. That's one. That's two. I don't know about you, but I will take fan noise, even if it's like a jet engine fan noise, over the whining of cheap stepper drivers any day. Let's try 5, see how that goes. The Z-Max is 250. Ooh, that is straight. Okay. Perfect. Utilities. So let's try filament. Yeah, I have to say it's completely different than the Race 3D screen. But this is a breath of fresh air, something different. When I say completely different, you can see little hints here and there, but I think it's mostly because of the red top and the black, like it's the color scheme. So let's do PLA. Ooh, nozzle. Come on. That's cool nozzle. Okay, so never mind. There you go. Let's see how quickly it reaches temps. Ooh, wait, hold on. Oh, wait, okay, let's do this. So 64 hot end, 70 hot end, 31 heat bed, 32. Asking does it print good? Exactly, as long as it prints good. Rumble board. Brit Hawks, it's about $220.
So we are at 150 degrees for the hot end and 40 degrees for the heat bed, 41 degrees. So is the LCD firmware also open source or just the controller board? Honestly speaking, I haven't checked. I wouldn't be able to tell, but I will obviously check.
I just wiped out my mic.
No, okay, sorry. $50 degrees on the heat bed for 1.5 minutes for 50 degrees. $54 degrees. 55. Wolfhold Dragon. I don't know yet. I haven't tried it. I'm literally just testing it out for the first time right now. So it's about 2.5 minutes to reach 200 degrees hot and 60 degrees for the heat beds. 59, 60 degrees. So 2.5 minutes. Decent. Could be better, but decent. So let's see how everything else goes. Ooh, load. There you go. It's 24 volts, Money. Might cut out when you turned, but back after that. Oh, okay. This could potentially fix that. Yes, I do have 3D printers, and yes, I can easily fix that, but you know, stuff. Well, there is black filament inside, so at least it was tested. Okay. Let me open my drawer. I'm so happy that I have a drawer with tools in it. Okay, so utilities now we need this. No. Okay, so this is the one thing I dislike about this printer, I think. Yes. So this is the one thing I dislike so far. It's the SD card goes in the back. Would be nice to just make it easy. I mean, it's an easy fix, but it would be nice to just have it sort of ready there. So let's see, files. Okay. Everything on that? Yes. Nice. So this is what I see on the screen. Is it 250? I forgot to change the temperature. Okay, tune. Kind of missed my mark there to do some manual leveling. Ooh. Completely missed my mark there. Let me stop it because I didn't clean the bed properly. Ah, yes, it rehomes when you stop it. Thank you. Kevin Anders. Thank you very much for the 10 euros, buddy. Save some money for a new mic and keep up the good work. Thank you very much, dude. Actually, no, this is not what I wanted. I wanted this first. That's so. Okay. And just for the sake of doing it right the first time, I'll get some Maginoob. Come on, come on. There you go. There. Let's start again. I like the screen. I really like the screen. Does Joe know it? What do I know? That mic is bad. It's probably because I keep hitting it, but it should be fine like this. Okay, I guess we need a new mic as well. Okay, heating up again. Joe, how does that extruder cable not hit the top frame max Z? It should have a little bit of space left to just pass under it. But yeah, personally speaking, I do not like this design because of that particular reason. I would rather have it sort of go outwards, but then you'd need a much longer cable. Darkly, don't be. Just sit in front of a camera and just record. Once you sort of get over those first initial recordings, you'll be fine. How goes the mural? You'll see. You'll see very soon. This week, my priority on Monday or Tuesday is to get out the Zortrax Inkspire review. And once that's done, because it's been coming for a long time, okay, we're there. What are we printing? We're printing a mini-me. So this was a very quick slice on Prusa Slicer. Now that he's got time for the channel, I'm sure you will see the mural soon. Yes, yes. So yeah, I was saying, as soon as the Zortrax Inspire review is out, which is kind of like my biggest headache at the moment, because there's so much to record and so much to say and try to fit in a little time as possible. Then the next thing is to get the mural out of the way, because I want that thing hung up by next week. So I chose the bronze PLA from a Printer Pro for this because it tends to show a bit more defects if there are any. Me too. I have to say I love the screen as well. And there's a piece that's bugging me. There. I guess call the print a tiny mistake or a happy little accident, exactly. LSD Benas. Awesome. I'll make sure to thank Joel. Joel is an awesome dude. See printing screen with some focus at the same time. I don't know if I can do it through here. Because usually what I do is, hold on, this is what I usually do. Because it makes life much easier. Hold on. Let me see if I can see it from here. There you go. This is where Mr. Frenzy starts getting excited. Ooh. So I messed up my first layer, but that's fine. I'm not worried about that. Is it a 32-bit board? So quiet. I don't think it's a 32-bit board, but it does have TMC 2208 drivers, which are what make it quiet. Can actually see it better. Zoom. Tom is awake. So can you tune parameters? I can tune feed rate, nozzle feed rate, fan speed, heat bed temperature, but that's about it. Mic again. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Let me see what I have here that I can use. Okay. Hold on. Be right back. Okay, that should be. Stop touching that now. The thing is, I'm not touching it, but with any movement, it was making that noise. So I'm sorry, but it should be okay now. I think I'm okay. That's fine. That's fine. Any suggestions for a good extruder movement visualizer? Not sure. Duct tape's like solves all the world problems, man. That's looking very clean, I have to say. Like, ignore the part where it looks like poop down at the bottom, because that's just me messing around with the first layer. Welcome. Oh, I'm sorry you had to endure that. Don't worry, channel will get better as it goes along. Ah, visualizer thing to see going round. Oh, okay. Maltese cross, of course. The right end part. That's, see this part over here. Let me show you. This here, this is just, it was accumulated because I had the first layer completely messed up. But other than that, from here it's actually looking very good. So as soon as that finishes, then it will look much better. Let me see if I can. Right, hold on. Let me fix the zoom. There. Hey Joe, this is the beginning of the full-time content creator. Yes, it is. You can call this an inaugural live stream of my full-time content creator. It's full-time content creator, but I will be doing other jobs on the side which relate to 3D printing as well, like CAD design, content management on websites, consultancies, stuff like that. The true test will be the crotch. My wife would agree. So I have to be careful what I say. Quick question. Is Z-Hop something that is needed with i3 printers anyway? My Cartesian doesn't use it, but since two of the printers that are coming are in i3 style, I'm wondering. So Z-Hop is needed and it's not. It all depends on the print itself. Most of the time, I don't use Z-Hop. If it's an intricate print which has sort of like curling edges because it's a steep angle, you might want Z-Hop so it doesn't hit it and destroy your print. It is always extremely pleasing watching a 3D printer doing its job. Yes, I completely agree. I might throw my 3D Prima all metal hot end in there. I also have a one of the recently released ruby nozzles. It's like 50 euros or 60 euro or something like that. Will we see any of your other work for said companies? Yes, you will. I mean, I don't know if I'll do like dedicated episodes for them. Some of them I will. But yeah, it shouldn't, it's nothing, I mean, like top secret or anything like that. This filament is a Printer Pro bronze PLA. I it could be directed better, yes. The cooling fan could be directed better. This is like their kind of, so this is the way they set up their machines, Alfawise. But yeah, it could definitely be improved. I missed it. How fast are you printing? I think Prusa Slicer was set to 50 millimeters a second, but I think it's doing slow now because they're like small perimeters. Is this a good printer? I can tell you that it's looking good so far because I've only used it for like 15 minutes so far. Joe, did you get the Y-axis models I sent you? Yes, 3D Jimmy, I did. A printer probe. A printer pro. 100% infill? No, it's not. It's only parts of the legs that are 100% infill. This is a Prusa Slicer feature where there are thin parts, where there is less than a certain volumetric area. It prints 100% infill for better strength. Have you used the Ruby nozzle? I've been thinking about buying one. I've had a Ruby nozzle on one of my Mark IIIs since I installed it. It has, I think it has like 6,000 hours on it. It's still the same. It still prints beautifully. You might want to have a look at 3D Prima because they have the Near Ruby nozzles, which are essentially the same, just half the price. Do you still use your Sidewinder X1? How is it in the long term? I still use it. I will get a review out possibly in about 2 weeks. I just want to print a few more things with it. I love it. I think it's probably one of the best, like the Chinese kit 3D printers to ever come out of China. I honestly believe that because print quality is beautiful. It's quiet, it's reliable, and I have to say that I actually like the company. I'm seriously considering picking up some of those hard nozzles. Running a back alley printer shop is a pain swapping soft nozzles 10 times a week. Oh no, dude, in that case, just get yourself some Ruby nozzles are awesome. I mean, hardened steel nozzles are fine as well, depending on what you're printing with. They'll still do the job 10 times, 20 times, 30 times longer than normal nozzles. But I'm a firm believer in the Ruby nozzles. I love them. Love the video on the filament wizard's voodoo. I believe the format was spot on. Like you said, there are many other videos that goes on to. Thank you very much, Chris. I mean, that's the kind of things I want to do. I want to have fun. Was the assembly quick, easy? Any issues? No, Bob, no issues. Quick and easy. It took about, I think, half an hour with the chat to put it together, and it was printing. So what I can tell you now is that, okay, so first of all, I just realized that temperature is a bit too high. Sorry. Let me just lower the temperature a bit. I'm going to go back to 200. Unfortunately, I didn't do enough retraction on this because I use the quick profile and I always forget to change the retraction settings. It was also printing at 210 degrees, which is relatively high. So brought it down to 200. We'll see how that goes. 6,000 hours. Oh yes. What one of my Mark IIs, like one of the first Mark IIs I ever got, has 15,000 hours on it, something like that. Can you do a review of the Alfawise W10 DLP printer? I got one a few days ago, still waiting for some IPA. If GearBest offer, I could do it. At Meltone, you guys were discussing about hours of prints needed for a good review. What is your number? Seriously. So, I try to aim for 1,000 hours for a 3D printer review. Next best thing for me is 500 hours, but I will not get a review out unless I have 500 hours of 3D printing on an FDM machine. With a DLP or an SLA or a resin printer, between 200 to 300 hours is usually fine. When do you change nozzles? Every 6 months, 1 year, 5 kilogram filaments? If it's PLA, I rarely ever change nozzles if they're printing just fine. Creality CR10S Pro or Prusa i3 Mark IIIs? Frederick, personally, for me, this is just my opinion. I will always go for a Mark III or a Prusa. It's not just, if you're not looking for the build volume, but you're looking for reliability, something that's going to print all the time, every time, and it's not going to cause you any hassles with, tweaking and settings. Trust me, just go for the Prusa. Even though Joe did say I'm a mistake. Why are you printing it solid? I'm not printing it solid. That's just the legs. It's a Prusa feature, which does 100% infill and in small parts. Also, what in the hell is the difference between a ruby and hardened? So hardened steel is literally hardened steel. A ruby is literally a nozzle with the tip being a precious stone, a ruby. So it's non-abrasive. Or abrasive filaments don't do anything to it. I've been eyeballing Nozzle X or Slice Vanadium. I have a Nozzle X, I love it. A ruby is posh, hardened is hard. 500 hours are 20 days printing non-stop. Yeah, pretty much. But I wouldn't do it like that. I mean, I'll do a print because I have to go overnight. But yeah, pretty much. So you are the Naomi Wu of GearBest right now, Joe. Naomi Wu of GearBest. I wouldn't say Naomi Wu of GearBest. No, I have not tried the Elegoo Mars. I've seen Uncle Jesse's prints with it. Looks very promising. Have you tried the Mahor XYZ palette extruder? No, I haven't. I wonder what Prusa will do now. They got the Mark III or resin printer. I wish they would make a big volume printer, or they could go like Core XY or Prusa Core XY. Would be insane and expensive. I'm gonna plead the fifth, and I will not comment on anything. I know nothing. I have no idea what happens in the research and development department of Prusa Research. There's that smile again. Do you have a set standard of prints that you use for testing printers? Yes and no. They might not be set standard prints, but I have a set standard materials. I want to print in PLA, in PETG, in flexible. I want to try everything. D. Merryman, thank you very much for the 10 euros, buddy. Greetings from Arizona, USA. I love the channel and all your hard work bringing these builds and reviews. Valuable information. Thank you very much, dude. Thank you so much. Hi Joe, where can you buy Ruby nozzles from? You can buy them from Olsen Ruby, or you can buy them from, like, Olsen Ruby have the original Olsen Ruby nozzles. 3D Prima have also Ruby nozzles, but they cost much less. But they're essentially the same. Yeah, retraction definitely needs to be tweaked. But I can live with that. I mean, it was a quick slice. No, but poker face is bad. I still have to set my tour with Crucia, guys. We'll be visiting in the next couple of months. Awesome. I always recommend it. It's awesome to see those guys working. I know nothing. Hi Joe, thanks for an awesome channel. What is your opinion regarding nozzle versus ruby nozzle? What do you prefer? Um, if I could afford it, I'd probably change all my printers to ruby nozzles, to be honest, because I really like them. But if it's just printing in PLA, the only problem with printing in brass nozzles with PLA is you have to be very careful, because when they get hot, the brass becomes very soft. So even if you sort of dig deep into the bed, you can expect to be ruining that nozzle. I want to go to Peru so I can visit the Kingdom Come developers. When do you think SLS 3D printing will become affordable? Maybe Prusa will do that next. So SLS 3D printing is, I'm going to say, okay, affordable to the normal desktop maker, but the Sinterit Lisa was like, what, 6,000 euros? That's actually a very good price for an SLS machine. Other than the retraction, I'm actually liking this. I need to tweak the profile, of course. There's still a lot of work to do. It looks okay. I just want this crotch part to be over so it can start printing decent. I mean, I could have literally, I mean, there are more models on the thingy that I could use, but instead I decided to slice my own. Their support. Yeah, Prusa support are awesome. SLS is with the powder, right? Yes, it is. Sub 1000 would be perfect. Yeah. Thor boots? No. 3D Maker new boots. Can print in one go. True. But the CR10S Pro is 300 by 300 by 400. So no 400 by 400. It's the CR10 Max that's, I think, 400 by 400 by 450, which is also on its way to the channel. Do you think Chinese manufacturers will make a printer belt? I don't think they would make it unless they see like huge demand for it. That's how they are. They usually go with the flow. It's very rare for like one of these like Chinese companies to innovate on something. It's much easier for them to just see what's trending and copy it. I shattered my ruby nozzle, have to get a new one. It started grinding into my PI. Don't know how it happened. Ouch. Very important. If you have a ruby nozzle, never, ever, ever perform a cold pull on a ruby nozzle, because you literally disassemble it. How high you set your solid infill threshold? Honestly speaking, I don't know what the settings were for this because this was literally just me doing a quick Prusa slicer profile for this stream. I never really play with solid and full threshold, to be honest. So how did you think up your YouTube name? I have been brainstorming a new channel name, but God, it's hard inside. Okay. Um, it took me a while to figure out what I wanted to call my channel. And I think I wanted noob because like 3D Maker noob, because I always considered myself to be, I'm not an expert in absolutely anything, but I like to try pretty much everything. And there's always going to be something new to learn. There's kind of this stigma around the word noob, you know, people call you noob sort of an insult, but we were all a noob at some point at something. So, and I'm always going to be noob at something because I'm always trying something new. You getting a TiVo Tarantula Pro to review? I should be. Was supposed to be sent like a month ago, but never arrived. So we'll see. I wonder if I could. Yeah. The crush is coming. Let's see. Whoa. I definitely need to do like a proper profile for this. Oh, iced coffee. I'd love an iced coffee right now. I'm sure that you've been called worse things than noob. Absolutely. A mistake. What is the big advantage of a bond extruder against a normal extruder? You're going to have much more tension on the filament. It's going to be easier to print flexibles, for example. Okay, now I need to. There you go. Okay, now we're going fast. Do you have a Pellet 2? Yes, I have the Pellet 2 and the Pellet 2 Pro. No, there's no crutch stroke actually. Taz stringy. The stringy is due to me not setting the retraction settings properly. And I can assure you that it's not sagging. Oh, not yet. Maybe in about 20 years. What's your favorite feature on the Mark III other than the removable bed? Also, why Prusa called you a mistake? My favorite feature on the Mark III, I think, is the fact that I can trust it. I can literally, it's probably one of the only printers that I have where I can press start on a print and I can walk away. I don't need to look at the first layer. I know it's going to print. Curling at the back. Yes, there is a bit of curling at the back or at the front. It tends to be quite normal because the model is meant to be a bit of a test print. But yeah, it could be a little bit better. It could be the temperature, the speed, and also the cooling. Could be a bit better. The fan is relatively far away from the nozzle. Do you prefer the Palette 2 over the Prusa MMU2 or the same? I can tell you that I usually have a bit more success on the Palette 2 Pro than the MMU2. No, it didn't lift insanely. It's just because the print actually goes outwards quite a bit. Joe, you were a happy mistake. Yes, I am. So yeah, the mistake, the front is actually curling up much more than the back. So yeah, it was a mistake. The whole inside joke with me being a mistake is the fact that I ended up going to Prague Maker Faire by mistake. As in, I was invited to go by one of Prusa's guys, but it turned out the invitation was supposed to be to extend it to 3D printing nerd, not 3D maker nerd. So we both ended up going. It'll fix. Don't worry. Stay calm. Move the camera up a tiny bit. Okay. My crush looks messy. I definitely need to sort out a profile for this. Joe is wondering, can people who have the MMU2 from Prusa also use the Canvas software of Palette? So, actually, I think it's the other way around. So there is a P2PP, something like that. It's an add-on where you can actually use Prusa Slicer software to print with the Palette 2, which is actually very handy because they have purge to infill, sacrificial models, stuff like that. You deserve the trip. No, but I was happy to be there. It was an awesome couple of days that I got to spend with Joel, Sean, Matt Stoltz, Claire from E3D, Repcord was there as well. It was fun. We all stayed at the same hotel. We all partied every night, like together. We went to watch Liam Gallagher. It was awesome. It was really awesome. Hey Joe, can you quantify your approximate success rate in percentage on your Palette 2? Michael over at Teaching Tech seems to have a hard time with it. So, I actually have been asked this. With MME2, my success rate is usually about, I'd say 60-40, 60% being successful with the MMU2. With the Palette 2 Pro, my success rate is usually between 90-95%, something like that. Andrew Hayes, I'm based in Malta, in Europe. Lewis Patch, all right, you. So I'm trying to print 12 duplicate objects at one time, but I can't print more than 4 because things start globbing. What's globbing? Let me see if I can. Yep, that's the one. PP2P. I need to try it out. First layer starts globbing. Trying to understand what globbing is, though. Um, if it's anything to do with the first layer, then the only thing I can recommend is Magical. What an I'm sitting here watching plastic being put down. Oh wow, 1960 gold coin, nice. Have you used Canvas Hub any? I actually have it, it's still in the box, I haven't used it yet. I'm not liking this print, to be honest. I think I made a huge mistake in my slicing profile. So I might stop this and see maybe one of the prints that come along with it. So, because I'm really not liking it. I like really not liking it. Like I messed up the profile completely. Printing too hot, too much stringing, so yeah. So let me just do this. Let's try a random one. $3DR CNC, check your bed level. I kind of know my way around 3D printers. I have an idea. Malta is in Europe? Of course it is. Hey Joe, ever thought about going fully DIY on a printer or even just build an already developed printer, sourcing the parts yourself? I was thinking about something similar to Tom's Mendel 9000. That's actually a very it's interesting thing you just said, because I am building one myself. I'm using a base of the Maroon Bot, like SX4. It's a Core XY machine, but it will be used to test out electrical parts which are sent to me by suppliers for reviews. Do you speak the native language of Malta? Yes, of course, I'm Maltese. Now that print looks like a mistake. Yeah. The bed is flexible, right? No, it's not. The cooling is bad, or I was printing too hot. But yeah, it could be better. Europe is weird anyway. Some Europeans have a huge thick accent when talking English, while some don't. I speak English fluently, but I don't have a real accent other than messing up pronunciation. Set the main camera, please. I don't know if this is out of sync completely. Let me know if this is out of sync. And I still have the interlacing, probably. Yep. I need to. Okay. Let's try their own sliced model. Saves us the pain of watching things, Joe. Talk something in Maltese. People ask me that, and all of a sudden I blank out. It's my language. Dini a lingua maltia. متى نتكلم بالمالتي احنا نتكلم ويك. And all I said was like, this is the Maltese language. When we speak Maltese, this is how we speak. Is George Burling still a member of Malta? I never heard of him. Perfect sync. Interesting. Really needs a purge line command. Yes, absolutely. It will come slowly. What filament are you using? This is a Printer Pro bronze PLA. I didn't want to use any glitter because then people will tell me I'm cheating. I got a notification on my iPad that 3D is streaming. Better cut out and go over there. About time. Yeah, YouTube. I don't think YouTube likes me very much. Oh, burgers. I love burgers. I absolutely love burgers. Maybe having a streaming overlay that sees the filament being used so you don't have to tell people. True, I could just write it down in the video description because I always tend to know what filament I'm going to be using. But then again, I get a lot of questions all the time, like constantly the same questions all the time. So it's okay, I'm used to it. It prints a raft. This is the one of the G codes that came along with it. You can choose to print with a raft or without. What is the state dish over there? Don't really have a state dish, but our dish is usually rabbit. Like that thing that is specifically Malta food. So we love our rabbits, either fried rabbit or rabbit stew with spaghetti and rabbit sauce. We have like pastizzi, which is like pastry with cheese or peas inside. It's like 800 calories for one, and we love those. And if it's like one of those weekends where we want pastizzi, we'll have like 4 or 5 each. So shouldn't you upgrade your Tizer 3D and make her novice by now? Haven't you passed the noob stage? Nope, still noob. Hey, 3D monkey. Webbit. Bugs Bunny. A printer from bronze PLA. So once a noob, always noob. Always. So when people, I notice I go through the comments and some of them I don't reply because I notice a lot of people tend to say a lot of things about the print which are settings. It's not a bad printer, it's a bad profile. So something to always keep in mind. You can have a bad printer and a good profile. You can also have a very good printer and a bad profile. So unless this is just the setup, so ultimately it all comes down to the review because I need time to create a profile for the printer and see how it goes. It takes time. Also, that's not an air gap, but since it didn't do the purge line first, it didn't cover those two gaps over there. Those perimeters are way too fast. But this is the pre-sliced G code. Let me try something very quickly. Let me see. Like, so printer, remind me later. Ah, go away. CR20 was good. Stefan is here. Hey, it's CNC Kitchen. Thank you very much, Stefan. Yeah, this is definitely sliced way too fast. Formerly known as Average Joe 3D Printing. Hey! How do we tell if it is the printer or the profile? I can definitely tell you it's the profile at the moment because that is way too fast, especially on perimeters. Apart from that, you'll know like once I spend some time with it, and then it's the final review. Unless I can make it print well, then it's the printer. Let me see if I can slow it down a little bit. Keep it. I can tell you it's sliced with courier because of the way it's doing the infill. It's printing way too fast, so it's curling on the eye side. Do you know what it's printing? I have no idea. First impressions, like the printer. I like the build quality, the touchscreen, the interface, print quality. At the moment, it's debatable because it's not producing anything that I like. Put it that way. But I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt that it's possibly sliced incorrectly. What I can do, edit last. I have an idea maker profile for the CR20 I could possibly use and see how that goes. You guys tell me. Do you want me to stop it once more? And try again with an Idea Maker profile. So the part cooler definitely is pointed towards the nozzle rather than the nozzle tip. Temperature is very stable at 200. It's just going too fast. That's all. The temperature stay on while you use the auto bed leveling feature. It does not have auto bed leveling feature. It has an assisted bed leveling feature. Needed smoothers to get rid of the salmon skin. I'm curious to know if the Trinamic drivers fix that. So Trinamic driver should fix that. While this is not perfect, I can tell you that there is no salmon skin. Oh, this is a really bad profile I did here. Oof. I'm going to slow it a little bit more. Let's do half the speed. Although 3D RCNC, you might not see what it is ultimately, because I doubt I'll be online for the whole duration of the print, especially if it takes like 2 hours. Here it is, 10 o'clock in the evening. And I didn't even get a beer with me, like something to drink. Now I'm not gonna stop it now, so now it's getting better. Like, see, I slowed it down. So if you notice, like from about halfway upwards, from there upwards, I slowed it down, and it's starting to print much better. So it was just too fast. Someone beer this man. Cobus, it happens more often than you could possibly think, especially with a new machine. Good evening, Joe. Did you already test the Nozzle X? I have on one of my Prushas, and it prints beautifully. But I don't know if I would make a review of it, to be completely honest. But it does print very well. Hit the like, guys, and help a noob out. Help a mistake out. It's much better. It's printing much better now. I wonder if I can zoom it even more. See, like when I slowed it down, you can see the difference in the quality. So now I'm happy. What speed do you normally print at? If it's 20 micron layer, 200 microns, I usually print around 55 millimeters a second. 150 microns, I print it around 35 to 40. If it's 100 microns, around 25, 30 millimeters a second. Okay, where's it gone? There. Hi Joe, what is your opinion about everyone's silver silk filament? Greetings from everyone. Silver silk filament. Greetings from Italy. Ciao. First of all, I've never tried it, so unfortunately I don't know. It's about 11%. So what's everyone doing this evening? Apart from watching me. I still haven't eaten yet. I'm starving. Oh, I know what I can eat. Americans will know these. Michi gummies. I need to chew on something. I'm starving. Why do you slow down when using lower layers? I want more accuracy. The thinner the layers, the more precise it has to be. So I feel that slowing it down helps a lot. Can you not do this video in slow motion? Come again? No true waffles? I have, but they're in the kitchen. Thank you very much for your opinion, Lama. Have a good one. Hobby King Premium Filament. No, I haven't. I don't tend to buy a lot of filament simply because a lot of companies send me filament, so I don't feel I need to like buy additional one. However, I do buy a lot of a Printer Pro filaments, mainly because they have very cheap shipping to Malta, and it like if for customer prints, I usually need like 20 spools of black BLA to finish them. So yeah. Oh, that is looking much better. Like so much better. Now you can see it much better. That is looking ridiculously good now. Oh, I'm so happy. Is everyone still there? Chat went quiet. Like really quiet. According to this, there are 251 of you watching. It still blows my mind that the channel has grown this much. Like it really does. chat is really quiet. I hope everything's okay and everything's still working. Is it still working? Do I have internet? Because now I'm worried. Anyone say something? Chat disconnected. Well, something went horribly bad. Yo, whoa, I have no idea what happened there. Like my internet just decided to drop my chats, like completely. I don't know if you guys were still watching. Wow, I missed so much. Okay, I'm back. We're in the basement garage, making space still in the office. Currently office upstairs. I need to catch up now. Best temperature, layer height, and speed for polyalchemy elixir. 0.16 at 210 degrees. How much is this printer? 220. Have you heard of dedicated micros? No, I haven't. Do you do any resin printing? A lot of it. Joe, do you have a print of this filament you are pleased with to compare? Not here, but I might. Just noticed filament matches the very clean nozzle. It's true. Looks like the cat print. No, it's some kind of Buddha kind of print. Can I get a shout out? Hi, no. Aluminum voice. David. Well, this is a good channel. That's why. Thank you very much, Kobush. This is coming across into this one. What's the bed size? It's 220 by 220 by 250. There is for you, Joe. Now that you are working, gonna still make model vids, or wait till you have more free time? No, I'm gonna go back to doing everything I used to do before and a bit more, hopefully. So he's gonna okay. Thoughts on a growing scam on eBay on selling underweight filament advertised at 1 kilogram and supply 700 grams. Ouch. I wasn't aware of that. Sing us a song. No. Looks like I bet you scrolled back, but since you won't see this. I did. I saw it. So for some reason, my chat went dead for a minute, and so did my internet, but now we're back. That's fine. Okay. Never been gone, John. All right. I think I catch up. Watching your stream in one tab, my XYZ printer with the Octoprint, in the other room, printing parts of my self-made Core XY printer in another. I was so glad my printer is finally built after 8 hours. Ouch. But at least it's awesome. You have it now. What material are you printing, Joe? PLA. Barnabuddha? No, it's not Barnabuddha. It's a much smaller version of it. What is the verdict for dethroning? Massive potential. After slowing down that print because the pre-sliced model was just way too fast, but I mean, as you can see it, I'm going to put this back now that there's a bit more. I mean, on the camera, it's going to show much more defects. So, like, even looking at it like this, that is insanely clean. Like, take away the first few layers where it was printing really fast, and everything else is just, it's literally, it's perfect. Like, literally perfect. Anything for your other channel? Yes, we'll have some stuff for there as well. Maybe not just yet, but there will be. You said some months back you were going to make a video about your upgrades on the BC and 3D Sigma printer you have. When will that video come? So, I actually have everything recorded on that, like completely recorded, but I never got around to editing and uploading it. And now it's a situation where it's been so long since I recorded that I will look different in that video. Like, so I don't know exactly how I'm going to do that. But I still have the footage of it. Joe, do you have any printed object made of this? Ah, okay, just that's the question you asked. No, not here. I do, but not here. I'm looking around the room because I have prints everywhere, but not here. Brass or hardened nozzle? If I had to choose, or this? This is brass, but if I had to choose, I'd probably go for hardened. Wait for the overhangs, the part cooling on these machines leave much to be desired, but still not too bad. But I don't have U30s, so would be completely off. I did print, I'm trying to remember what I printed on the U30. Did I print on that U30? Let me get you a print I did on the U30. I believe I printed this on the U30. I believe I did print this on the U30. If it wasn't this, it was something similar, but it definitely was on the U30. So this, hold on, let me just, there you go. So this was printed on a stock U30. That's at 150 micron layer heights. As a matter of fact, you can see the salmon skin back here. Let me put the light so you can see better. This was, like, this is a complete stock Alfawise U30. So if you find the right tuning, it will still print absolutely fine. The only thing with this was, it was the salmon skin and the noise. So yeah, it can definitely print. Even if it has like a bit of a crappy part cooling fan, it can still print. It's just a matter of dialing in the settings for your filament. Maybe the filament drive gears just don't do well at higher speeds. Definitely. Or Ruby from 3D Prima. If I had to choose those three, I'd go for Ruby from 3D Prima. Alfawise versus Creality. Which brand would you recommend? Depending on the printer. What are we printing? Standard G code that was on the file. Anyone have experience with Talman T-glaze filament? T-glaze filament. Tom, Filament Frenzy, used it. You really fixed that mic perfectly. No crackle whatsoever. Awesome. What budget resin printer would you recommend? The Elegoo Mars is getting quite a lot of traction at the moment. I still like the Anycubic Photon quite a lot. Are you going to airbrush that? Yes, this is one of the things I'll be airbrushing very soon. I have so many models that I need to airbrush. So many. Okay, it would be so interesting to see. Something is making a noise. Okay, it would be so interesting to see what you did with it to get it to print good. I have one Sigma R17 and have done some upgrades, but still sometimes it has a life of its own. Yes, it does. My speakers are doing a weird noise. Why don't they fix the salmon skin issue? The salmon skin is a driver thing. They fixed it with this because they put upgraded drivers. Hold on just a second. There you go. What infill type do you usually use? It all depends on the model itself. If it's a mechanical part, I use cubic. If it's something like this, I'd probably go with rectilinear. Sigma is expensive, right? Yes, it is. It's quite expensive. But yes, for some reason, the Sigmas tend to have a life of their own sometimes. So, there, stay quiet. Can you print a full-size helmet with this machine? If you have a really small head, yes. Sorry. Not in one piece. It's going to be very difficult to print in one piece. Is Sigma French? No, they're Spanish. There. Have you seen French cars? I'm really liking the quality. Baby helmet. Yeah, exactly. I vote for that you post the video of the BC introducing upgrades, even if you think you look different now. Okay. Joe, do you think Joe, do you think in your native language? So this is a bit weird for me because so my native language is Maltese. I grew up speaking Maltese, but my parents used to have this restaurant once. So when I was like very young, when I was like 9 or 10, I used to be like a bartender there. And I always used to speak in English with tourists, and my best friend was English. And I grew up, even when I dream in English most of the time. I think in English. And it's funny because there was this, I was listening to something, there was this conversation about these people who were saying like, sometimes when you're stuck on something and you can't figure out like how to make something work, for example, think of a solution in a different language in your mind. And sometimes you think of it in a very different way. And it's very, very true. Maltese way of thinking is very different, even the way you place your words in your mind. Hey, Tomas. I always wonder, you speak perfect English, but I wonder if he thinks in native language and then translates. I'll do both. I'll do both. I mean, I speak to my wife in Maltese. I speak to my daughter both Maltese and English. I even speak to my wife in Italian when I don't want my daughter to understand something we're saying. So, what experience do you have with premium filaments like Tolman? They have a lot of interesting materials to play with or to pay with. I like premium filaments and I like exotic filaments. I have this fetish for exotic filaments. However, when you say premium, someone asked me these questions on the last video I uploaded. Does it mean paying more for premium filaments means that you're going to get better quality filaments? And the answer is no, not necessarily. How long will you stream? I'll probably do another 10 minutes or so because I'm starving and I need food and I need drink in me. He thinks in G code, yes. Everyone with English as a second language thinks in first language. You need a reference language. You can't translate any other way. Very true. What filament brand do you find yourself using the most often for customer prints? I can't keep printing with all my Elixir. As I mentioned, a Printer Pro, mainly because when I order in large quantities, it's very cheap for me. And it's still very good material. Is Malta a big tourist place? Yes, very big on tourism. It's our main source of income as a country. Thanks, Joe. You told me something while watching you level this machine. Didn't know you could level while printer is printing, though it would be risky. Thanks, though. I tend to do that quite a lot, so I'd rather start a print and have the nozzle way off and then just start tramming. That's called, I call it trimming, as I go along. Just released payment for my Challenger Pro. I want to try something different than my Ender 3s. Hope's not a mistake. Wish you best of luck. Viva l'Italia. Time to learn you some Dutch. Thank you, Vel. He talks to me in pig Latin. Time to make some bacon cheeseburgers. Oh, I'd love a bacon cheeseburger right now. In 10 years, we can send you food by donation, instant. One of these days, I'll post my my address so you guys can send me a pizza over. Thank you very much, Jimmy Paul. Premium filaments is subjective. I have used 70 USD PLAs that print worse than 20 PLAs. However, I have used also $100 filaments that I would for sure buy again. Exactly. It's all subjective. It's all the type of company. Because, I mean, color fab is relatively expensive. I personally find that it's nothing like out of the ordinary. There are cheaper filaments which could print better, but color fab then have like really good colors, really good exotic filaments, which I really like. So I do buy from them. Your printing business, what do you print for customers? Anything that they ask usually, or ask me to design for them. My kids are trilingual from birth, so for them it's quite different. That just means they're going to be even smarter growing up. How can people speak multiple languages? I can barely speak English properly. I love languages. I absolutely love languages. I can speak a bit of Polish as well. You know the most important Dutch word, stroopwafel, exactly. Joe, look up the book Malta Spitfire. George Berling's. Oh, awesome. Set language Dutch 500. So, this seems like it's 30%. That's 43 minutes. So it's going to take at least another hour and a half to 2 hours to print this. So yeah, I'm definitely not going to stay to Afrikaans. I love Afrikaans language. I would love to be able to speak Afrikaans, or even better, have a South African accent, like the English South African accent. I think it's awesome. I love it. I absolutely love it. The most important Polish is. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. So yeah, this is going to take about another hour and a half to 2 hours to print. I'm definitely not going to be sticking around for that long. So I need to go get some food in me, take a shower. Oh. And now I'm yawning because I'm talking too much, so I get tired. Leave the stream and go eat. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do soon. So this week you can expect from the channel the Zortrax Inspire review. I'll be continuing the Project FDL3, the automatic blaster, Nerf blaster. I can't wait to get that together. The mural. I have so many things coming. I have so many projects to do. Pivo, yes. Yahtse pivo. Have you checked the board or not? Yes, I have. Abba, Fandi. If you go scroll back, like reverse back to the beginning of the stream, it's there. I opened the base of the printer. But for those that are still here, I want to have a final good look. That's quite a print. And if I try to do it from the top, so because I get a lot of people telling me like put it on a hard light. Like that's clean, no matter where you look at it from. So that is awesome. Okay, so I am going to love you and leave you guys. It's time for me to go eat something and have a shower. My wife is still awake. Tell her good night. My daughter is definitely already asleep at the moment. See if the dog's okay. And yep, then I head to bed myself. Maybe go to sleep watching Stranger Things Season 3 because I haven't started it yet. Enjoy your meal, love it. Love it, you are back, including the smile. Thank you very much, guys. I'm so happy, very, very happy to be back, very happy to have time again to print. I missed printing, I missed live streams. So looking forward for much, much more. If any of you, I don't really like self-promote my Patreon page, but if you guys want to support me, I have a Patreon page. Feel free to do so if you feel like you're inclined. You don't have to. If not, just make sure you subscribe. And if you don't want to subscribe, at least hit the like button. And if you don't hit the like button, at least tell me hi in the comments. One or the other. So I'm going to go head to bed. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining me in this live stream. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Expect a full review of the Alfawise U30 possibly tomorrow morning. If you go on my Twitter page and Facebook page, I'll show you a photo of the completed print so you guys can get an idea of what it looks like once done. All right, so I'm going to bid you a good night. And as always, happy making, guys.